So let's talk about Rory McIlroy. I've never seen someone more upset with making Albatross than Patrick Reed on Thursday, and I've never seen someone more upset after achieving golfing immortality than Rory McIlroy. Like, when we all thought that Masters was going to be this cathartic event and he was going to have the weight of the world off his shoulders, and it's still early. It's only been a couple months, but it's gone the other way. And there's sort of two things at play here, right? And they're separate. There's the motivation issue, which I think we can all understand. And then there's this sort of ornery, cranky attitude that he seems to have right now. And those two things are different. You can be struggling with motivation and still be in good spirits. Look at Dustin Johnson for the last couple of years. Like, just because you're feeling a little bit of a come down does not mean that, you're going to act in a certain way. And Rory's just, it's not the Rory that I've, that we've all come to know, I think, in the last couple of years, really, since he's been around. He's in a mood. And he opted not to speak with the media after Thursday and Friday's round, which, as he's wont to remind us, he's within his rights to do. And then he did do an interview on Saturday and seemed to say that he's annoyed with the media. Let's roll this first clip here.
So transparent with us and very available. Yesterday was 6 majors in a row, rounds, and kind of stepped away. Has that been part and parcel to the frustration on the golf course? What do you attribute?
No, not really. It's more a frustration with you guys, but yeah.
It's more a frustration with you guys. I mean, that was pointed. He was digging there. That was a little bit cutting. And what is the media really? I mean, after he won the Masters, it was a Rory love fest, deservedly so. I mean, the guy became one of 6 players ever to win the career Grand Slam. He's an all-time great, and he's clearly upset about the driver situation where it leaked that his driver failed the test, but Scotty's didn't. But is that really the media's fault? And, it got leaked by someone at the USGA. The media doesn't conduct the testing. And I don't understand what he's so upset about. Let's roll the next clip.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've been totally available for the last few years, and I'm not saying maybe not you guys, but maybe more just the whole thing.
The whole driver thing.
Yeah, part of, yeah. I mean, that was a part of it. Yeah, that was a part of it. But it's not as if, like, at Augusta I skipped you guys on Thursday. So yeah, it's not as if it's not out of the ordinary. I've done it before. I'm just doing it a little more often.
And it's one thing to sort of skip media. You're allowed to do that. It's another to then basically say to the media that you're really upset with them. You're upset with the whole thing. I don't really know what the whole thing means. And if it is about this driver story, I mean, Scotty's driver failed. They asked him about it. He's like, yeah, I just got to adjust to a new one. And the whole thing goes away. So, no one with a brain was questioning Rory's intention with the driver thing. And were there people without a brain who were questioning whether he used an illegal driver or this? Yeah, but that's called the internet. And Rory knows that. Like, he's been around long enough to know that. So, something's just off here. Do we have any more clips? Is that it? Yeah, 3 more. We have 3 more. Okay, let's roll the next one.
You kind of carried the tour with your awards for like 3 or 4 years now. You feel like you've earned a break?
I feel like I've earned the right to do whatever I want to do, yeah.
Like that, no one would take issue with that comment over a glass of Pinot in a private setting. I think everyone agrees that Rory has earned the right to do what he wants to do, but it's just kind of a crazy thing to say. What I'm getting at is he's really upset. And it makes me a little upset to see him so upset, because this should be the most incredible time. You've just completed the career Grand Slam. Everything is gravy for the rest of your career. Let's roll the next one.
You have, in relation to that, kind of almost addressed the fact that the tour does not require that kind of thing. It's almost like you're daring them to do so in some way. Is that, in terms of a requirement for other players?
No, I'm not daring them to do anything. I hope they don't change it, because it would, it's a nice luxury to have. But I'm just pointing out the fact that we have the ability to do it.
I think it's well established that you have the ability to do it, because you keep doing it. And listen, nothing is beyond repair here. Like, all he's got to do is just, kind of reset. But I think everyone's just a little bit, the smell test is kind of off. Like, is this really because of the driver? because what else is there to be like so upset with about the media? Next clip.
What do you look for tomorrow?
Hopefully a round in under 4.5 hours and get out of here.
And this is, he shot 67 on Sunday, and that's part of the reason why Rory McIlroy is the figure that he is in the game. He has unbelievable natural ability. Does that sound like a guy who was ready to grind it out on Sunday and shoot everything and really, play this round like it's his last? I mean, if you ask Tiger in the height of his powers, he's 10 over going into Sunday, and you would ask him, what are you looking for tomorrow? Well, I want to get off to a hot start, hopefully shoot something in the mid-60s and sort of see what happens. Rory's like, oh, I just want to basically play quick and get out of here, and then he shoots 67. And, the good news is he did speak with media on Sunday, and he said, I climbed my Mount Everest, and now I've got to figure out my next one. And I think the Open Championship at Royal Portrush is a perfect mountain for him to climb, especially given the last time it was there, he missed it in really dramatic fashion. Remember, he hit it out of bounds a couple times, once, maybe even twice on the first hole, and then shot something really low on Friday and missed the cut and was in tears. And he's from 20, 30 minutes away from Portrush. So if there is something to get motivated for, it is that. Ben, what did you make of this? You're an emotional guy. Is Ben still? Yeah, that's a good. I mean that in like a nice way. We talk about things, and what's your read here?
I've always kind of related to Rory for that reason. I always felt like we're the same age. He was vulnerable with people the way that I feel like I have been in the public. So like I was kind of related to him, and this kind of like made me mad at first because it feels like he's changed. But now that I've sat with it for 24 hours or so, I just think he's going to come back around. We know who he is. He showed us that throughout his whole career. Only recently has he really turned into this like he's going to take those biting. I didn't like the way he was phrasing things.
He was being mean. He was being mean. Like there was a meanness to it that felt, there's a way to express how you're feeling without making like biting remarks. And those were biting remarks.
Also, I don't know who asked him that first question.
Mark Cannizzaro from the New York Post.
Okay, I was gonna say it could have been like a Beaver County Times local guy, and like, what did he do?
Yeah.
New York Post maybe deserves a shot or two here and
Team
there.
Rory.
But yeah, I don't know. I think he'll come back around. I think he's shown us who he is, and I think he'll mea culpa in his own way. Like he might be really nice to people over the next couple of weeks, or maybe at Portrush we see a more jovial Rory, and he'll balance everything out on his own. He's a good guy. I think he knows.
Yeah, like, my reaction here is not like screwed Rory. It's like let's get this back on track. Let's get this back on track because this feels like something's off here.
I mean, he's the one that was smashing tee markers and tossing his clubs. Like, does he think that the media is not waiting for stuff like that to happen so we can cover it? Like,
well, I think everyone's sort of looping everything together and being like the driver and this and that, and like there's clearly an undergirding of antsiness and anger or something that's showing up in different areas. He
Streisand affected himself with the driver story because like nobody really cared, like you said, and Scotty even came out and afterward and said it very rationally. Like everybody figured out very quickly that was a non-story, and he's the one that keeps bringing it up. I guess they asked him about it, but if he's really sour about that moment specifically, like he's hanging on to it, and he's the only one that is.
Yeah. So hopefully we get a different tune out of Rory McIlroy. He's playing this week, and this week is a no-cut limited field event at the Travelers Championship. I'm going to this. I'm excited to watch the best players in the world play. I just wish there were more of them.